Hello, guys. What are you doing? Good morning. Are you ready for the class?
Good morning, teacher.
Good
Looking
morning,
forward to the
Edwin. Good
university.
morning, Mr. Baby. That's okay. Nice, perfect, guys. Today we're going to start with a new topic: reporter's speech. I don't know if you have any idea about reporter's speech. Do you have any idea about that topic? Have you ever studied that? No. Reporter speech? Any idea? No? Diana? Do you remember something about reporter
Yes,
speech?
I know it.
You don't remember? No? Edwin? Do you know something about reporter speech?
Teacher.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so this will be a new topic for you guys. So that is the report speech. So let's start with this new topic, guys. So I want you to pay special attention to the grammar structure of these things, right? It says report speech. We often need to tell others what someone else said. There are two ways to do this. One is to say the same words and use quotation marks, or the other will be to summarize or tell about what someone says. When we use the same words and use quotation marks, we can say that that is the direct speech, right? So, the other method that is summarize or tell about what someone says, we can call it reporter speech. Before we get into the rules for reporting speech, here are the terms we're using to explain it. For example, here we have this subject, the reporting verb, we're going to use said. That conjunction, also we can use that, right? And the report speech clause. So we can say, she said that she wanted a cookie, right? So that would be like if you say, I want a cookie. If you pass that into the reported speech, you are going to say, she said that she wanted a cookie, right? That would be like that, the first example. So, there are some rules that we need to follow in order to write sentences using the reported speech. The first one is to choose a reporting verb and tense. When did the speech happen? With current, repeated, or recent event. The reporting verb is in the present tense, right? So, example, he says he's hungry. So, let's go to lunch. There you have that is example, right? That is a habitual reporting statement in the present tense, right? So you can change it like everyone says the water is safe to drink. That's another example, right? So in this case, the reported verb is often said because you are going to change that, right? That everyone says. You're talking in present in that way, right? It's everyone says the water is safe to drink. So if you're going to change that, right, you need to use the reporting verb in past. So less immediate speech, choose the past tense. You're going to use said, right? So we can say that this is like everyone says water is safe to drink, the direct speech, right? And then we need to change that into the reporter speech, right? So it can also be told or other verbs like order, state, or reporter, depending of the situation. We can use also other verbs, but in this case, we're going to use said, right? Second rule, to change the perspective or point of view of something, right? That means I become he, she, or they. As the first example that I told you that I want a cookie, right? We need to change that I to she or he or they, right? So we can say she said that she wanted a cookie. So that is like to change the perspective, right? So we need to change also in this case the subject. For example, Mary said, I ate the pie. Mary said. Who said that? Mary. I ate the pie. So we are going to change this and say, she said. Who? Mary. That is the conjunction to say that. Now, she ate the pie. Sorry. So, look at this. We have this direct speech. Mary said, I ate the pie. So, when you change that sentence into the report speech, you're going to change also the subject here. You're not going to say, I. No, we're going to talk like in third person, right? She said that she ate the pie. So in that case, you're going to use, we can say to change the perspective of the sentence or the point of view of that, right? Also, we have number 3, to choose whether to include that or if. For example, he says he is at home, or he says that he is at home. In that case, that is a conjunction, right? It links the two parts of the sentence. You have, she says that, and the other said he is at home, right? But this will be optional if you want to use it, right? Another conjunction that you can use, it will be if. It's required when reporting on a question. When you have a question, you're going to use the conjunction if. For example, he asked me if I knew how to play tennis, right? So that would be like a question. You're reporting a question, right? In that case, you're going to use the conjunction if. Later, we're going to see some examples like this, right? So he asked me if I knew how to play tennis. So I said, do you know how to play tennis? That would be like the question, right? So when you say that into reporter speech, you can say, he asked me if I knew how to play tennis, right? To black shift the tense also. When the reporting verb is in the past tense, the verb in the reported clause is in the past tense too, right? So, example, I am buying my ticket. So, there you have what? Present continuous, right? I am buying my ticket. But you need to change the tense of the verb, and that will be into We can say it in the past. He said he was buying his ticket, right? You're saying that the person do that action, right? So when the reported verb is in the past tense, the verb in the report clause is in the past tense too, right? The verb aspect showing whether the action is completed matches, right? In that way. The reporting speech in English would be easy if these rules were learned, needed to know, right? But as usual, there is more to learn. So let's look at some other structures that we can use using the report speech. And even we can use also the modal verbs. I don't know if you remember the modal verbs. We can use what? Can, rather you have should, etc. Or those are like the auxiliaries, right? When we report something. So let's do this. Reporting on a question. Also, there you have this. When we report questions, we have to pay attention to the auxiliary verb. This is very important. These are words like do, be, and have. We know that when we have the simple present, we're going to use the auxiliary do. Also, in simple present, we can use be as an auxiliary, maybe are, is, or am. Also, have, that will be another auxiliary, right? So, we can say, do you like pizza? Right? That is a question in simple present, right? So we're going to change or to report that question, drop the auxiliary and add if. As I told you before, we are going to change that auxiliary and we're going to use what? The conjunction if. He asked me, here you have a question, so you can use this ask, right? He asked me if I like pizza. So you dropped this auxiliary, and instead of this, you add if. He asked me if I like pizza, right? So sometimes learners or students make the mistake of leaving, or we made that mistake, right? Of leaving the auxiliary verb in the report speech. For example, he asked me, do I like pizza? And it doesn't sound natural, right? So we need to drop or to change that auxiliary in this case and write if. Right? This is for reporting questions. So do you like pizza? He asked me if I like pizza. You're reporting that action, right? So information questions. Also, if you have information questions like, where are you going? So that is like also an information question in a WH question, right? So in this case, right, we need to do this. She asked me where I was going. So in this case, we just need to simple change the pronoun and the word order. We're not going to add if in this case because that is an information question. So where are you going? She asked me, look where I was going. You're changing what? The subject and also the order of that. Sometimes we made some mistakes and we can say, she asked me where I was going. And that is not correct, right? Because we need to switch or to change. We can say the subject and also the order of that question. So that is for information question. Where you have the the reporting questions, you don't need to do that. Just add if and drop out the auxiliary, right? So, examples, there you have more examples. They ask when is the party. So, that is also an, you can say, informative question, right? So, they ask me when the party was, right? So the question word when reminds like be moves from a position before the noun to after the noun. So there you have. You're going to change the verb be until the end, and first you're going to write down the noun. They ask me. Look, when is the party? That will be like the direct speech. So when, now the noun was. So you have when, or we can say the question word, right? First, plus the noun, plus the verb be, in this case in past, because you're reporting that question, right? So they ask, when is the party? They ask me when the party was. So that will be into the report speech. Also, as I told you before, we're going to use modal verbs in order to report something, right? So reporting speech with modals. For example, we can also, will, can, and show, sorry, change to will, could, and should when reporter. Will is used to make statements about the future in English. I want you to pay special attention in this rule because look, will into the report speech, can't, could into the report speech. That will be like not the past tense, but you're going to change the tense in that way or those modals in these ways, right? Show, should, right? When we report something. So, example. Kelly said, I will pick up the sandwiches. There you have like a statement about in future, right? So we need to change. Kelly said she would pick up the sandwiches. What happened here? You're going to change the, in this case, the modal will, and you're going to write down will instead of that one, right? So let's continue. Kathy asked, can you answer the phone while I'm out? So can, that's a question, right? And you're using that. So you're going to change that. You can say modal verb, right? And you are going to write it in this way. Kathy asked me if I could answer the phone while she was out. So if you notice also you change that structure. While I am out, while she was out, because you're reporting that action, that question, that, right? So can't, could, right? And that is a question. So you're going to use if in this case. Only if you have information questions, you're not going to do that, right? But if you have like other kind of questions with you, did, etc., you're going to use that. Or even this one, that like just no question. We can say that, just no question. But if we have like a WH word questions, we need to do the other rule, we have already studied, right? So here we have another example. George stated, right? I will not do that, right? In this case, the modal verb is already in past, right? So you don't need to change anything, only the subject, right? But you're not going to change will or right will, no. That is in past, the modal verb, so you're going to write it in past also, right? You don't need to change that. Only the subject, because you're reporting that. George stated, I will not do that. George said, he, who? George will not do that, right? And so that will be that. I don't know, guy, if you have questions. Just a little bit complicated because of the changes that we need to do. But I don't know if it is clear for you or do you have questions? I don't know if this is the first time that you study this topic, the report speech. You have questions? Is it clear? No? Diana, Edwin, Mr. Davy? Hello, are you there, guys?
I understood a little bit.
A little bit. Okay. Why, Diana? Why a little bit? I guess I will give you or send you more information about this topic. This is a little bit confusing, right? But what can you tell me about
It's a
that?
little bit confusing.
What can you tell me about that topic?
Maybe I need to check again all the information about the recorded speech.
I will send you, if you want, the PPT presentation, or even I can send you more information about the report speech. Some rules, I guess you need to read them a lot because there are many, many rules, right? And this is a little bit confusing sometimes when we use that, right? You're reporting something. But I don't know. We're going to try to do, we can say, the first exercise. Are you in agreement with that? Or Edwin, do you need to add something about our report speech? No?
No, teacher, yeah. So confusing, yes, but
Yeah.
I'm alright, more or less, I know more or less.
Okay, perfect. I think that's good. Mr. Davy, is everything clear?
Maybe more practice, teacher, it's confused.
Yeah, that's confused sometimes, right? I guess if we practice and if you have like an extra information about this topic, that will help you a lot, right? Believe me, this is like a tricky one, but we can do it. We can learn how to use it, right? But now we're going to try to do the first exercise about this. So let me share that with you. Okay, there you have it. That is the first exercise. It says, complete these sentences in the report speech. Also, there you have an example. Look, I went to shops. This is like the direct speech, right? We need to change that sentence into the report speech. So, I went to shops. John, for example, John is the person who is saying that, right? So, John said he had gone to shops, right? Need to change that. For example, here, so sad. I said, for example, imagine you said, it is so sad. Something is sad, right? How would you change that? If we have present, we need to change into past, right? So how would you say that? It is so sad in past. I said, but that is like it. It is so sad. In this case, we don't need to, because you have I said, just in past. It, for example, guys, if you have
It was?
excellent. It was, right? It was so sad, right? So it is so sad. I said it was so sad. In this case, we just change. Bless you, Diana. He just changed the thing.
Sorry.
Okay, don't worry. Bless you. So it is so sad. I said it was so sad. Right? So let's do the number 2. I've already done it. What is that? Present perfect, right? I have already done it. So he claimed that what? Who said that? He, right? Look, he. So in the report speech, we can say he claimed that. Instead of I, you're going to say he, right? In past had. We know that we have present perfect and past perfect. So we're going to change the present perfect into the past perfect. So he claimed that he had already, look, what? Done it. Oh, already done it, right? So here you have what? Present perfect. You're going to change it to past perfect into the reporter speech. So I've already done it. He claimed that he had already done it. Yes? Number 3. I saw you at the station. Who said that? Kim. That is a girl, right? So you need to notice this. Kim. So I saw you at the station. You have their simple past. So you're going to use, in that case, also the past perfect. So which could be this one? I saw you at the station. That is past. You're going to change it into. Si tuvieran que.
Into present?
No. Ahí tienen pasado simple, ¿verdad? Lo vamos a cambiar a pasado perfecto. ¿Cómo les quedaría? Estamos hablando que Kim dijo esa acción. ¿Cómo sería? ¿Cómo es en el cambio del sujeto y del tiempo verbal en ese caso? That is like if I say, right? Kim told me what? That told me she had, yes, she had what? No. What is the verb? Here you have so. In past participle, which could be the past participle of see, and then you have past so, and the past participle.
Seen.
Seen, yes. So Kim told me she had seen who? Instead of you, because that's he's seen me, right? at the station. Okay, that would be, right? So, what about this one? I can't help you. Dan explained that. If you have here can't, ¿por cuál modo le vamos a cambiar can, jóvenes? De acuerdo a las reglas que acabamos de estudiar. If you have can't, you're going to change that into the report speech too? Could, right? So, Dan explained that that is negative, so couldn't, right? Couldn't help me. Yes? So you're reporting that. That is like if you say it in Spanish. Yo no puedo ayudarte. Entonces usted le cuenta a alguien que esa persona le dijo eso, ¿verdad? Entonces, ¿cómo lo reporta usted? Él me explicó que él no podría ayudarme. Usted está diciendo esa acción, que esa persona le dijo, es como cuando usted va y le dice a su mamá, mira, mi hermano me dijo esto y esto. Ya la mamá se enoja, ¿verdad? Usted está reportando esa acción. Recuerden también que tenemos que hacer el cambio de los sujetos en todo caso. De hecho, aquí está fácil porque ya le da la persona que ha dicho esa acción. O que ha dicho esa frase. Diga.
Eso iba a preguntar. Pero ahí no vas a saber qué se refiere al sujeto.
Exacto. Entonces ya cuando esta persona dijo eso, digámoslo, ya cuando usted lo reporta, ya utiliza el pronombre, digámoslo así, adecuado a la persona que dijo eso. Entonces aquí ya está reportando la acción, ¿verdad? Y obviamente también el tiempo verbal cambia. Por ejemplo, si vamos acá, presente, vamos a cambiarlo a pasado, cuando ya usamos el report speech. Por ejemplo, de hecho, les voy a buscar una tabla donde les especifique, ¿verdad?, cómo hacer ese cambio. Si tienen presente a pasado, si tienen, por ejemplo, presente perfecto, va a cambiar a pasado perfecto, o si ya está en pasado, que cambia a pasado perfecto, ¿verdad? Para que ustedes tengan también esa idea. Pero vean esta, ¿quién? De acuerdo a las reglas que acabamos de estar estudiando, usted va a cambiar quién, por ejemplo, cuando ya lo reporte, por could, ¿right? Si tiene will, va a pasar a would, right? Show, that is not so common, but maybe you're going to have should, right? So don't forget this. I will look for we're gonna say more information about that, the tenses when we need to switch it in and which one are you going to use.
In that case, in the other sentences, I could fail the exam. Could be in present or in past perfect.
Okay, in this case, if you remember something important from the information that we have already studied, it says, if the modal verb is in past, we are going to leave it in that way. We don't need to change that, right? We're going to change it or change then if we have like in the present tense like can't, could. But if we have already have could, that is in past. So we are not going to change that. So Diana, how will you write this? I could fail the exam. He was afraid that who? Look, he, right? So how would you report that? He was afraid that.
I.
No. Who is the person? ¿Quién es la persona que tenemos acá? He, ¿verdad?
He.
Entonces, he was afraid. ¿Quién está o que tiene miedo? Él, ¿verdad? That he,
Sí.
is it okay? Can't fail the test, the exam, sorry.
The subject teacher
Is it okay, the subject? Okay, the subject, yes. But what about the modal? Is it correct? Edwin, the modal verb there.
he could fake the accent.
Why, Edwin? Why do we need to use?
Ah, yes, I see.
Ajá. Porque ya está.
It's already cool.
Exactly. You have already cool, right? That is in past. So that is different in this one. Look, because you have can't. So you know, according to the rules, that if you have can, you're going to change that to cool into the reported speech. But if you have already have cool, you don't need to change anything, right? Just the subject. So in this case, that will be he could, look, fail the exam. Yeah? So you have here in the, what can I say, their speech could. So in the report speech, you're going to use could. Okay? So let's do the other. This is easy. The Amazon is the biggest river. He knew that. Which could be this?
That the Amazon.
Okay, the Amazon. Uh-huh.
Was.
Excellent. Was the biggest river. Excellent. So the Amazon is the biggest river. So he knew that the Amazon was the biggest river. Right? So, or maybe they just, we have no possibility. You can say also is the biggest river also, right? But you are reporting that. Okay. What about this one? Made. Also, look, if we have made, we're going to change that to might, right? So, I may come a bit late. So, Bill told me that. What? Which could be this one. Make it a little bit bigger. So, he, exactly.
He made.
That he might. He might, what? Come a bit late. Excellent, right? So, you're going to change to might, right? Into the report speech. I may come a bit late. Bill told me that he, because Bill, right, might come a bit late. Okay? Let's do this one, guys. I've been reading a book. He replayed that. What? I've been reading a book that he,
that he had.
excellent, that he had been, right, reading a book. Perfect. Excellent. So, I've been reading a book. He replayed that person had been reading a book, because that is You say present perfect continuous, right? So you're going to change it to past perfect continuous, right? That's good. What about this one? It's a little bit complicated. David. David must be on a diet. So,
Is the sir, he must do change.
yeah, when you have must, this is another rule. Pay attention to that one. That is like if you say had to. Must, had to, right? So this is another rule, right? I guess I missed a lot of rules. But you have here, must, have to. So, baby must be on a diet. The doctor said, look, the doctor said
He have to
he had to, yes, he had to be on
diet.
a diet. Excellent. On a diet. So, let's do the last one, guys. You haven't written the essay. You haven't written the essay. The teacher, look, the teacher thought that what? You have this. What is the tense? Haven't written. Which will be the tense?
Haven't.
Ah, exactly. Excellent. So the teacher said that I haven't. Haven't written the essay. Okay, that's good. In this case, you're going to use I because that is you, right? That someone said, you haven't written the essay. So the teacher thought that I haven't written the essay, right? So guys, let's do this one. Try to do this alone, right? Choose the correct option. Let's work on those. How this is the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and the last one 10. So you're going to choose, guys. We can say the correct option. You have two options. I wish you were with me. Travel said he wished, and you have two options there, right? I was with him, or I had been with him. So you are going to choose one. So I wish you were with me. Travel said he wished what? Which would be the correct one? I was with, or I had been with him.
B.
B, I had been with him. Okay. In this case, Edwin, we're going to use I was with him. If you remember, we haven't studied this topic yet, but we're going to do it maybe next week when we use wish, right? In this case, that is like a subjective, right? So I wish you were with me. So you're going to use, in this case, I was with him. So travel, that person said he wished I was with him. Yeah? So that would be a little bit different, right? So let's do the other one. While I was having dinner, the phone rang. He told me while he was having dinner, right? The phone rang. What should be that? Do you think that we need to write it in the same way or no? He told me that while he was having dinner, the phone rang.
Is the letter B.
Letter B?
While she had been.
Having dinner, right? Yes, the phone that ran, right? I always say the phone ran. Good. Okay, so guys, working the others. You are going to have around 6 minutes for you to work on that, right? So let me do this a little bit. Okay, there you have it. Choose the correct one. 2 minutes, and then we're going to check then, okay? Diana, okay, there you have it. Poor guys. Then we're okay, guys. I guess we're not going to have enough time to finish this exercise, so I want you to go to study a little bit more and to do that as a homework. And next class on Thursday, we're going to check them together, right? So I will send you more information. Just tell me.
Yes, you can. Can you send us the homework on the group?
Yeah.
WhatsApp group?
Okay, on WhatsApp or on Google Chat. I will send you in both, right? Both places. And also I will send you more information about that report speech because I guess that is not so clear, right? The use of the report speech. So I will send you more information. I want you to study a lot that, right? And also do the homework. We're going to check the homework here in the next class together, right? I don't know if you have questions, guys. Is everything clear? This is the first date or the first class of Module 4, right? So this is the last one, guys. So I don't know if you have questions. No questions, doubts, comments?
Welcome to Saturday. Suppose and we need to check the information about this topic.
Yeah, you should.
As you mentioned, it's a little bit confused.
Yeah, it's a little tricky.
But if you can send us the rules
Okay, I will.
to change the different tenses.
Yeah, I will send you that information, okay? Don't worry. So guys, if you don't have more questions or comments, see you next class. Have a nice day. Take care a lot and bye bye. See you.
Bye. Have a nice.
Bye, teacher.
Take care. Bye
Bye,
bye.
teacher.
See you. Bye, Mr.